Saturday night and the lights go hot. SGPN on the mic at the Derby spot. Virtual Kentucky running live on the stream. 3 big races, 30 large in the dream.
10 grand heat after heat in the globe. Bed by flying down the line in the show. Paraquine pumping like a backstage drum. Photo finish live where the legends come.
Turn it up, let the numbers ride, and hear the chat roar. Worlds collide. SGPN run the show tonight. Derby in the clouds under neon light. Foes eve tomorrow, new hopes rise. Monday brings the babies with fire in their eyes. Stack those bets, let the thunder roll. Every heartbeat locked in one big goal. SGPN, let the wild run free. Paraquine in my hand, feel the energy.
Hosts crack jokes while the gates line up. Crowds going crazy as they fill that cup. Digital dirt fly when the bell hits loud. Every pick riding on the voice of the crowd.
Horses dig in when the backstretch calls. 100,000 dreams in those pixel walls. Stretch run hits and the chat explodes. SGPN driving down the final rows.
Turn it up, let the numbers ride.
Hear the chat roar, worlds collide. SGPN run the show tonight. Derby in the clouds under neon light. Foes eve tomorrow, new hopes rise. Monday brings the babies with fire in their eyes. Stack those bets, let the thunder roll. Every heartbeat locked in one big goal. SGPN, let the wild run free. Paraquine in my hand, feel the energy.
Tomorrow's Fozzy.
New dreams coming.
New dreams coming.
Monday brings baby.
New season running.
Frozen.
Fozzy. Let the future bring.
SGPN run the show tonight. Derby in the clouds under neon light. Foes eve tomorrow, new hopes rise. Monday brings the babies with fire in their eyes. Stack those bets, let the thunder roll. Every heartbeat locked in one big goal. SGPN, let the wild run free. Paraquine in my hand.
Feel the energy.
You're muted. And we are off for episode 31 of Run for the Roses on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I am Ryan Real Money Kramer, aka Real Digital Horseman Kramer, and I am here with the breeder of the season 29, Kentucky Derby champion and chief horse officer at SGPN Stables, Mr. Scott Bowser. Bowser, how are we feeling today? I know we just had a race go off. Maybe we even start the show by watching it live. I have not seen the result yet.
I've already seen it. So
Okay. You want to rewatch it?
no.
Or no? Oh, all right. Bad result. Good. All right. So
Don't start off with that kind of energy. I'm already kind of feeling a cold coming on myself. You know,
it's that time of year. All the kids go back.
Dark clouds coming over the horizon already. So
It was one of our new S Plus left turf horses. So that's left turf term horses.
Yeah.
So that's always fun. All right. Well, we are here. We're a couple minutes late because I'm in Vegas. I was dealing with a little room situation, all sorted out, and we are here. We got a little bit of a loaded show. We of course have the SGPN Turf Classic, which I think we start the show by maybe handicapping the race and then coming back to watch it at the end. I don't know if I'm assuming it's closed out already. Then we also, of course, it's breed season. So we're going to get back into the breed streets, talk to you about that. See, I'm sure Bowser has some updates, maybe some studs you might want to go look to hit, maybe some of our studs that are still available, and have some breed covers. And then as we typically do in week 3 of the season, It's all about bubble watch. We're going to take a look at the majors, see who's on the bubble, see how we're looking. And for the first time in bubble watch, Bowser, we're going to take a look at the turf side of things because we have a turf qualifier this season. Yeah, watch out for us. So, and if you're wondering what you're watching here on the Sports Gambling Podcast YouTube channel, this is Run for the Roses. It's a show about photo finish live, digital horses. You're going to watch us bet on some races. You're going to watch us watch some races. You're going to see us talk about breeding our horses. Excellent game, lots of fun, lots to do in it. If you're interested in getting in, scan that QR code, use the code SGPN to get started. If you're listening to the audio, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/PFL. Hop in, get your stable started, and if you use the code SGPN, you get into Turf Club, which gets you breed discounts, get you cheap and/or free horses that we give away, and most importantly, get you into free rolls like today's SGPN Turf Classic, next week's SGPN Dirt Classic.
Yep.
So that's a lot of words from me. With that, Scott, how are we feeling here in week 3 of season 35?
We're feeling great, but you know who's not feeling great? The horses of the Las Vegas Rodeo. I just wanted to bring this up real quick before we get into real stable talk, but there was a possibility a week or two ago that it was looking like the rodeo might get canceled. A few events were already canceled because of a horse herpes outbreak. And that's just one more benefit to Photo Finish Live and digital horses is you do not have to worry about the transmission of horse herpes.
Maybe Ian in the team can look into that. We had injuries at one point. I believe the injuries may be completely turned off now, or at least turned off somewhat. I forget how. Actually,
I saw a race that we were in not too long recently.
Someone got hurt.
And it was hurting. Yeah.
Maybe they need to turn on herpes, which, by the way, I do have a lot more questions, definitely more questions than answers about how this happens, why it happens, and what does this have to do with the rodeo? Can it transmit to humans? Like, what's the big deal?
These horses, man.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I've worked with people who are carrying a little case of herpes on the side, so. I don't know about that. Although I will say I was taking a look at the round 2 of the steer something or other, and there's a guy named Rowdy Parrott going off at plus 900. So don't know much about the rodeo, but I am in Vegas. I will have paper tickets, and the Circa is actually a place that is very supportive of the rodeo. They have the odds on the biggest screen right now, so pretty good stuff down here.
Sam's Town. If you're in Vegas watching this or whatever. Sam's Town is like the rodeo capital of Vegas because it's like got the huge RV park where all the rodeo heads come and park their RVs and stay there. It's kind of crazy. So.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Herpy talk, Smalls. There you go.
Oh wow!
That's right. We are starting live with some herpy talk.
Actually, is it herpy talk or is it herpes talk? Is it?
I guess it would be herpes talk because it's more than one herpy.
But is it one of those weird singular plural things?
Yeah, it is.
The S actually makes it. Yeah. So one herpes, multiple herpy.
Would be herpi.
Herpi.
Like
I mean, I'm not gonna.
You're gonna make like cactus.
Yeah, exactly. Cactus, cacti. I mean, Steph was a medical professional somewhat, so I know she at least went to medical school, which is more than you or I. So perhaps she knows what she's talking about. All right,
she knows more than us. Yeah.
So what do you think? Do you want to handicap?
There's more about herpes than we do. Let's face it.
Yeah, I mean, no, yeah, that's most doctors know more about herpes than me. That's kind of a funny thing. That I would assume actually all doctors know more about.
I don't know much about herpes. I've never had herpes.
Yeah, I've never even had to cure it. I'm not an expert.
I'm not. What do I look like? Some swarthy sailor?
Cousin Mush chiming in that it is plural. All right, so I think what we said earlier is correct. I think, and I don't know this to be fact, but maybe I don't think he's a medical professional, but maybe he also has some experience. I'll leave him. He can comment if he wants to. All right, so do we start by just handicapping this race since there's only 19 minutes?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
All right, let's bring it up. And so, like I was explaining earlier, if you're in the Turf Club, you get access to the Turf Classic. I know some people on social. I posted something and they gained access, or maybe they didn't. I don't think all of them got in. So if you did miss out in this week's Turf Classic. We will be running the Dirt Classic next week.
Yeah.
So
hit us up for that for sure.
yeah, hit me up on X if you were one of those stables, and I'll make sure you get on the white list for the Dirt Classic next week. 15 horses. It is 11 furlongs, and it rolled out good this season, Bowser. So will be an interesting race to see what kind of horses we got here. And yeah, I'll leave you with the mic.
All right, so we got Shoshone Hiawatha from Sweetwater Stables starting off. Shout out to Sweetwater. Some nice messages from him recently. Royal Bull Ride out of our SGPN Stables. I Am Destruction from PGA Stables. Shout out to PGA. Younger Bull from Guff Farm. Is that some kind of like cuck name? I don't know.
Guff Farm or Younger Bull?
Younger Bull.
That's his maybe that's his favorite performing arts star.
Younger Bull do my wife.
Do you remember the guy who got fame and notoriety for the drop in loads catchphrase on Howard Stern? Maybe that's who Younger Bull is. He just it was like if you're too young to know this back then, like male porn stars were like Tom Cruise and Sam Jackson, like leading men. And this one guy had a catchphrase where when at the end of his movies, he would just go, dropping loads. Anyway, Younger Bull. Anyway, continue.
I Heart Turf from Revere Ranch.
Okay.
Deep in the Congo, another one of ours out of SGPN Stables. Mama's Been Hurtin' from Beetlejuice Stables. Shout out to Beetlejuice.
Yeah, he was one of the new ads via social. I like the dark coat on this one.
I do too. Yeah, that's nice. And I like the dark coat with the darker silks. That's
this horse looks like a monster. I will be honest.
So yeah, Living on the Gray from the Hot 27. Is My Victory Song from SGPN Stables, one of ours. Very good horse here too.
This horse is in the mix.
31 races. Yeah. 4-year-old, I believe. Yep. Draw in Scarlet from Terra Firma Farms. Fake Finga from Radio Web 3. Gelatin C from Wildcard. Port Authority from Eisenhart Stables. The Adventure from Valkyrie Racing Stud. Shout out to Lacey there. And Strive to Be Gifted from Blinkers On.
This white coat here for Adventure looks very nice. And
yeah,
and real quick, shout out to Radio Web 3, who authored the music you heard at the top of the show. So
I
very
believe
grateful.
One of our new SS minus horses that we have hitting the track in the next couple of seasons is related to this horse from Lacey. We used one of her studs, and that's why it's got a similar coat. Yeah, so
very cool. So we got some legit dogs in this race.
Yeah, no, this is a good one. And I just wanted to bring it up because I've been working on this. I do, if you can pull that up, the spreadsheet, Ryan, that I made, that has the SGPN Turf Classic winners.
Yes.
Yeah, so we will be adding a new line to this season, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, give me a second to bring it up. Keep talking.
But yeah, so we've had a couple. We are the only stable, believe it or not, to win it twice. But Lacey here with Valkyrie Racing is looking to knock down her second SGPN Turf Classic Championship. So, and of course, a lot of other stables here are looking to get on the board for the first time. But yeah, I forgot to update the 34 Dirt Classic, so I'm sorry about that.
Well, we'll have it updated for next week. But here's the turf. Yeah. Here's what we care about: the turf side of things.
Yeah, so that one's completely up to date. But as you see here, I wanted to just point out we've ran it mostly at 7 and 11 here, and it's been a wide variety of like fleet figures and grades that win the thing. So it's really anybody's race here.
Yeah, we've seen a nice distribution. Also, I think, and the reason we generally run it longer, maybe next season we'll have them set it for 9, is it's just more fun. We're watching the race, so it's more of a.
And we have an even split here of mares or fillies and colts to win it too. So that's an interesting thing.
There we go. I like that pink and blue. Got some color coding. All right. So what are we, other than betting on ourselves?
Well, we're definitely betting on ourselves. I just want to know how much we're going to just sprinkle them across. I think just on the win pool.
Okay.
We're going to be. We're going to
take a look at that. Yes, they did. There is a little bit of an overlay. It looks like they dropped 80 Derby per horse in here. in the win pool. And so if I was, I would say that we hit all of our horses. The two who has not been bet on yet, Royal Bull Ride, who, a little bit of track success. And then you have Deep in the Congo, which again, tiny bit of success, but not, this horse got shut down. So,
this would be my pick for us because it's always the one you don't expect out of.
Yep, of course.
No, that doesn't. So that's my wild card there.
And then the 9 horse is my victory song, of course. 11 wins and 31 starts. This horse was on the verge of qualifying for a Harbor Classic as an S horse last season. Ended up running in the undercard.
What is the distance for this race? Because this horse,
11.
Yeah, well, and this horse is pretty much is amazing at 12. Like
12
really,
12 is the sweet spot, but it has this, clearly it has some sort of stamina roll. So 9, 6, 2. None of our horses have been bet on yet, so that's good news. The horses that have taken action are the 3 horse I Am Destruction, which I'm guessing that's PGA, who took a position on his own horse, and then the 13 horse. The 3 horse, the 7 horse, which is currently the chalk and looks like it should be the chalk, but 2.5 soft stars, probably going to neutralize it a little bit on the firmer track here. And then the last horse that's taken action is the 13 horse, which is Port Authority from Eisenhart Stable. Another one of the social response. I've been posting basically. If you follow me on X at Kramer Centric, I usually post if anyone wants access to the free roll. So pay attention week of race. So next week I'll do the same thing.
This is an interesting horse here. Just looking at it on the surface, because the stars don't seem to be super impressive, but there's enough there where it can be competitive in something like this. So
do we want to bet on anyone that isn't us?
Nah. We got 3 entries, so that's good. That's okay. We don't want to.
I like that.
We want to have some confidence here. We're the only 2-time champ in this. This
we have. Yeah, of course. we are SGPN, so we have to make sure we are the top dogs. All right, what do you want to do next? You want to do bubble watch? You want to talk?
I'm thinking 160. What do you think?
Oh yeah, that's you're good with that. Yeah, I trust you.
I don't want to completely tilt the fucking.
I don't mind tilting. I don't mind a little tilt.
Oh well. Yeah, I think we're good now. All right. So yeah, do you want to let's talk about a couple breeds? We opened up with the Herpes, but there is a horse that not ours, a stud out there that I'd like to point out, Italian Herpes. We've gone to him the last 2 seasons. He's produced an SS- for us the last 2 seasons. And with the match we found for him this season, I'm hoping to repeat that success, of course. We went with a new horse that we just retired that had a pretty damn good role for us, Upped Ante. So if you want to go to that horse, but yeah, Italian Herpes, he's got the speed, he's got the finish, pretty flat overall. I mean, there's nothing that's like all the way down, but he's got the temper, right? And we like that a lot. We love the fact that this horse has legit temper to go with that speed, stamina, finish kind of combo, and we can get some more heart in there. This could be something. So let's take a look at Upped Ante, one of our newer mares that we just retired. Start pimping this hooler out. But I think this could be a really interesting, because if we can kind of put them side by side together, that
I should be able to bring up the.
But yeah, we got some potential here for some. She can really uproll his stamina and start, perhaps, and his heart. She's got a big weakness in temper there. That's why she's not an SS- herself, I feel. So he's obviously got that. That's why I said the SS- temper is great for him. But yeah, he uprolls her speed and finish, and like, I don't know, this is like kind of 2 pieces of a glove kind of fitting each other here. This is the glove going into the, here we go. So look at that. If we, we're hoping to really boost her temper, obviously. That's going to be the most critical attribute to improve this bloodline. But look, she's an uproll on the heart. He's an uproll on finish. She's an uproll on stamina. He's an uproll on speed. She's an uproll on start. I like what we can put together here. I like the ceiling of this horse. And there's the breed report. So yeah, like if we just hit the median here, right? We're
I mean, to your point on, you know, we've had good luck with this stud as well. It does seem like the median provides a pretty nice looking like SS minus flat across, with maybe an S plus a low temper roll. So it just becomes like if we can hit an up roll in the temper and get the median across everything else. I mean, this is this is a nice looking breed report, and the upside of, you know, maybe this turns into a really nice sprinter if it really hits up on start speed.
Yeah, and to me, the stars, that could be the downfall, I guess, if I was gonna be, you know, really like pessimistic here, but I'm not. I feel very optimistic about this breed. But we could technically have like a 2-2-0 roll in the stars if everything hit the bottom, but I don't think it will. I think we're looking probably at a 5.5 to 7 star horse, I would say.
And this was going back to up Danny. This was a interesting horse. Like did not expect to see the SS stamina come out of this thing. It you know, we didn't really, opening race was a long race and it didn't show. And then, you know, it's always shocking when you end up with stamina in a horse you didn't think it was going to be there. But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, like I said, we've had good success here, so excited for this one. And this, it's always fun when we have like the shocking mare reveals, and Up Danny was certainly one of them for us this season.
Yeah, and so, you know, I feel like if we can just keep improving those preference stars on her, and finding these horses that more or less improve that temper, finish, and speed combo, I think we're going to be okay, you know. And since his floor is so high already, you know, I really think that we can get something here. You know, it just, to me, it's all about getting that temper roll. Because, dude, if we just get like an S plus temper, I'm really excited on this horse.
Nice. All right, what else? Anything else you want to pop up here?
Yeah, let's do one of our in-house breeds now. And that is going to be Hot Crawfish and Mona Lisa Smile. Hot Crawfish surprisingly produced an SS minus for us this last breeding cycle, kind of unexpectedly. And so looking at his bloodline, how good his dad's side of the family is, I felt it was worth it to go with Mona Lisa Smile, one of the better female performers we've had recently.
Well, almost.
She was she qualified for the Twin Spires Gallop in season 31 or so, something like that. I think
that sounds right here. I can check real quick. That was the high court in 32. So yeah, 31. We got a 9th place finish in the Gallop in season 31, and a 4th place in the Oaks.
So yeah, she's been one of the better, and she was pretty damn good performer considering, look, she kind of had a down spot with speed, finish, and temper, but her start, stamina, heart combo is so nice there. And so I don't know, we're kind of doubling down on the start here, so we're kind of playing for that roll, but we could get a big stamina up roll here too. It's going to have a high floor there. The temper, unfortunately, we're not able to get too much of that. But this guy's got a lot of stars, and they kind of balancing because she's 2.532 and he's 2.52. We could be looking at like an 8, and if we get like a firm up roll, 8.5 star horse here. And so that, to me, that's the really exciting thing, is the fact that we're able to put this kind of stars into our stable in-house, you know, into the, you know. And if you look at Hot Crawfish's bloodline, because if we think about it like this, where, well, not only are we pulling from him, but we're pulling from his parents and whatnot. Well, this is where it gets really interesting, because his dad is Law of the Dial, a major winning champ out of Absolute Horsepower, comes from the Sprinter Sacker line out of YSM, another big time major winner. So, I mean, there's a lot to like about this bloodline overall.
Well, the Oysters for Lunch bloodline is also just, it has some of the like the goat, Gen 0 horses. So shout out to Rose and Morning Wood, Lucy Juice in there. Lot to like here. Here's the breed report.
Yeah. So the speed seems kind of boxed in there around an S, unfortunately. Like, but look how high we can hit on some of this other stuff. And that's what we're kind of looking at here, because we know we have speed other places so this is kind of almost a 2-generation project, but since we can do it cheap in-house, get the good stars, we get a female here. I really like what her kids are going to be able to do. And I think this horse can still be able to do something. I mean, don't get me wrong.
I also think, just reflecting back on Mona Lisa Smile being a decent runner, like to me, I feel confident we will uproll speed, because I feel her speed was not not of an S, or the start and stamina were strong enough to carry a middle distance runner, which seems interesting. The heart also, but yeah, to me, it feels like this horse doesn't match this horse, the way it performed doesn't necessarily match the subgrades, and maybe that's the stars, to your point. So maybe keeping this bloodline strong with the star profile will help make up for that lower speed, especially if we hit some sort of nut outcome on any of the other stuff. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, there's some very, very high outcomes here, almost all the way to triple S straight up, not even triple S minus. I mean, there's definitely a ceiling here that could be a lot of fun.
yeah. All right, what's next?
You know what? Actually, because I've been kind of obsessed with the left turf firm stuff.
You want
So
to
let's
bring
get
one
into
up?
that, because I decided while you were off the grid, as you saw last week's pre-taped episode, but when you were off the grid last week, I made the call to retire 6 Point Tease, who wasn't really doing anything for us as a 3-year-old, but she was a left turf firm horse, and her reveal ended up being, I think, one of the better subgrade profiles of any left turf horse we have, and she just happens to be a firm. Since we've been talking about this a lot, we've been trying to build this up. I found a good match for her, and I just want to kind of show. We talk about these preference stars. So it'd be 6 Point Tease and Peanut Crusted Fish is the
Yeah, let me just show this real quick while I'm pulling up the breeder report stuff. All right, so this is the horse you were referring to.
Yeah, so this is a pretty good reveal. I felt we're getting SS minus on for an S plus horse, getting the up roll on speed start speed stamina, a slight down roll there, and finish in heart. But we're staying even at temper. I really like what we can do with this, especially as a left turf firm horse, right? And this was a horse that we hit left turf firm on. That it was actually, if you look at the parents, they were both LTS horses. We just so happened to hit the very, very outlier of what's possible. Because you see, the dad's got 1.5 soft, the mom's got half soft, and we hit half firm. It's really wild that we hit just when you see these breed reports in the star out range. Well, we hit it on this one in the opposite direction.
Oh, that's not the one I wanted to show. I got it somewhere. Hold on. Yeah, I mean, to your point, real quick to go back to it, in the bloodline, I forget where it comes from, but one of the somewhere in here, if you go back, there is some left dirt firm or right turf firm, one of the two. And yeah, so that's where we always talk about the potential of a combination kind of can be derived from the bloodline. And here's that side by side you were asking for.
Yeah, so I think this checks a lot of boxes for us, obviously, right? Because she up rolls on the temper, he up rolls on the heart, up rolls big time on the finish, and then she takes care of the rest.
Yeah, I mean, and to your point, it's like a seesaw, right? You're counterbalancing.
Yeah. And so when you look at the stars here, that's really what I'm playing for now. Okay, on this, I'm trying to hit the full, because if we hit it, we could be hitting like a 7-star LTF, which would be kind of unheard of, at this point in the game. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 of those overall in the whole thing. So maybe more than that, maybe 5 to 10. I don't know. But when you think about how many horses are in the game overall, and if you can be in such a small percentile of a main bracket like LTF.
Which, yeah, if you're new to the game, the interesting thing about LTF is that there are essentially what, 4 archetypes, and each archetype has firm or soft. And so you have right turf, right dirt, left dirt, and then within there you have firm and soft. When the game was created, there was essentially no left turf firm horses. And so there's been like nothing's purebred over there. Everything has been left turf soft and right turf firm, or left turf soft and left dirt firm.
Or it's like that one we showed you where there's some sort of left dirt firm way deep in there, and
Yeah.
most of it's LTS, but it happens to hit, like.
But that's kind of why this is an interesting area. And to kind of add on to that, we've seen most of the big purchases in the game, and this is a little bit anecdotal for me, but a lot of big purchases in the game have been on the left turf side lately, and some of those have been firm horses. And so you can see that arms race is building up, and it's always been an underserved category of racing. But I think once the firm category starts to fill out, it's going to become a little bit more popular. And like you're saying, Bowser, for us to be closer to the tip of the spear here than we were with the left dirt stuff when we started feels pretty good.
Yeah, no, and just like now that like we're going to talk about this in a minute when we talk about the bubble watch, but like now that we started doing really well LDF, then we started building. Now we're starting to see our LDS and LTS catch up, and so it's a natural progression for now. We know what we're doing in building up a bloodline, and so now the key is taking everything we've learned, continuing to adapt and adjust, but we're going to continue to build on this side now and really make it a strength out of our stable, I feel.
Yeah. And this breed report is fun. There are some wide gates that can, like, again, like this is one where it's like, imagine if we do hit the nuts on the stars, especially, and it's a male and it's an SS minus. It's like, now we have something that is very valuable to your point, right? Like
if we got an SS minus male here, that was the 8-star max that could possibly hit, that is going to do very well in the sub market.
Yeah, it's just this is kind of like our SS conversation earlier. Like when you're on the tip of the spear, you want the males.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to be a little bit more useful to you, and certainly going to help fund breeding.
I'll say this, because LTF is so unique, though. Even if you're hitting the females early on, I think you're still trying to just focus on these star shapes.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, we got 6 minutes till the race. You want to do a bubble? Want to try to bang out some of the bubble watch before we pop in?
Yeah, let's start with our. Do you want to start with like our juvie bubble watch stuff, because we have a couple things there?
That's up to you. I mean,
we go into the bigger stuff after the race.
Yeah. What do you want to start? Let's see. I wasn't prepared for the juvie stuff. Let's see.
Well, then let's go with something you're prepared for. Let's not.
Well, I was just gonna say I don't think we have a ton, so it might actually be a very good. I'm going to pull up all our 2-year-old stuff right now. It's actually probably a good idea because we don't have as much of it. And it is,
yes,
it is mostly bubble stuff, but I think just to stay in, let's see, our best bet is here. Bring it up. So this is probably our, like, I all in all, I'd say like 2-year-olds, we're going to have to get some good aging stuff. Well, that's not what I meant to bring up. We're going to need to get some good aging stuff. I will say that. I do think that it's like, I feel like we've been having flip-flop seasons lately. And so here is like, to give you an idea, we are on the bubble, probably not going to get in. The reason I show the reason I wanted to bring up Beach Comber is because, again, it's one of our better performing LTF horses. Didn't do well recently, but a couple wins earlier in the season at 4. This is a horse that we'll see if we can backdoor our way in. Racing activity always picks up down the end of the season here. Another juvie. And here, I'll just bring up the whole. This is also a good kind of thing to look at. We always talk about how it feels like the sprints are being overrun with SS minus. Well, not in Turfland yet. You see plenty of S pluses. Or I'm sorry, you're not seeing what I'm looking at. You're seeing plenty of S pluses in the mix here. So
and so And this could be an aging curve thing too, where a lot of these SS minuses really might come on as 3-year-olds. We'll see, but it's just interesting with the direct left turf. I think is the most fascinating part of the game right now. So,
and then
and honestly, if you're new to the game, I would say that's the place to maybe don't go for LTF right away because it's kind of a
definitely
extra level. LTS is a really good place to learn, I feel.
Let's see, what else do we have that is in the mix? We have some claim to fame stuff that's going to be running, and which is interesting. Let's go down to the bigger stuff. Yeah, this is pretty much it. We had a left dirt gallop horse in the mix. Let me pull up the board. Another one that is on the outside looking in. And again, like more S pluses in the mix in qualifying than I still would have expected. I kind of keep waiting for it to be overrun. Here's Palace Guard down here again, looking not good, but all we need is a couple wins in the last week of the season.
Well, we only have a couple days for that actually.
Yeah, well, the juvie stuff actually
goes. Yeah, you're right.
Goes all the way to the end. So
well, and you know what? Part of the reason why I want to say that is because we've had a lot of success of horses that have done well for us in the redemption run, that like Tamale Lady, that end up turning it on later. So just because I feel so optimistic about this 2-year-old crop because I've noticed more stuff is popping up into the Rising Stars than the redemption run. And since we've had success with redemption run stuff, and we have a few horses looking okay in this year's 2-year-old redemption run, I'm interested to see how the 3-year-old age hits because we
what I was gonna say is we have like the normal block of like horses competing for the redemption run, and to your point, I kind of don't think we've had the best luck with the horses that have done well young, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, right. It seems like it comes out of the redemption run stuff. So I mean, that just shows you that's a valuable series to run in, even though a lot of those races they don't have the prize pools necessarily. But you're playing for these free roll payouts at the end of the year, and we've hit them, dude. It's not bad, you know.
Yeah, the other thing too is like, you know, again, probably anecdotal because we've definitely had some horses that have shown up at 2, but I want to say the horses that show up at 2 have a shorter aging curve. Like some of our horses that have run till 6 didn't show up until 3.
Yeah.
And so it's and maybe that, you know, we early on we didn't race as long, et cetera, but I always tell you this, when we have a horse that wins right out of the gate, I'm like, damn it. Like it's like a fucking curse in some ways. In some ways it's harder because it feels like you get bottled into like distances quicker. Whereas like if you have a horse that's a slower aging curve and I'm throwing these $3 redemption runs or even, you know, whatever $5 allowances and seeing more distances, sometimes that can be beneficial. But, you know, anecdotally, I'm trying to think of horses we've had that have had long careers that were like
Roman Surprise would probably be the one.
Yeah, that's one that was a top qualifier for the juvie stuff. None of our other horses have been like dominant 2-year-olds. I mean,
yeah, he was a top qualifier for the juvie, qualified for the Kentucky Derby, and then won the high court.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
no, to your point, that's the one that I can think of too. And you know, I don't root against our horses as 2-year-olds. I just don't overthink it. It's one thing to say this horse is bad, and I think we're about.
To your point there, I've heard Sowers talk about this kind of, where basically saying the problem with having good horses can be sometimes early on you find it's something they're good at, stick with it, that may not have been their best distance or whatever.
That's exactly my point too. Like I do think that matters. Okay, here we go.
We're off and running. Yeah, so who knows how many of these horses are running at their best distance. But we have 2 out of the top 4 early on here with Is My Victory Song and Royal Bull Ride. Is My Victory Song carrying 2 less pounds per allowance rules in this race. Mama's Been Hurting, Port Authority, Is My Victory Song, Royal Bull Ride, Chilean Sea, and I Heart Turf all falling in line. We got this horse out, leading early on here from Beetlejuice. Mama's Been Hurting. Wow, an 86 overall fleet figure. That's very impressive for the turf side of the track, man. Let me tell you. Royal Bull Ride here from SGPN Stables coming out real quick, but Mama's Been Hurting right there with it. We still got a ways to go here in this 11 furlong race. We're basically going to be running about almost 2 turns around the track here. You know, it's about 1 3/4 of a run. So
I believe 10 furlongs is 1.5 laps. So it's a little bit, it's like, you know, whatever that turns out to be.
yeah, so wow, Strive to Be Gidget really coming on strong here. So is I Heart Turf. Mama's Been Hurting, though. It seems like anytime someone comes and challenges her, she's popping right back at them. She's coming on strong now, right back at Strive to Be Gidget, but with Royal Bull Ride now working its way back in the mix with our other horse deep in the Congo now, making an appearance on the board with Shoshone Hiawatha and I Heart Turf rounding it out. Strive to Be Gidget and Mama's Been Hurting, really dueling it out like a couple of dueling banjos here. But what do we have? Royal Bull Ride from SGPN Stables as we go into the final turn, starting a duel with Mama's Been Hurting and Royal Bull Ride now out by a length. Royal Bull Ride coming into the final turn with Mama's Been Hurting, Strive to Be Gidget, Is My Victory Song, I Am Destruction, and Shoshone Hiawatha, the 22-to-1 shot, sitting there rounding things out.
Whoa.
We come down the final stretch. Strive to Be Gidget is turning it on.
Whoa.
Something that I can't believe. This is an incredible performance. I Am Destruction right there with it. Royal Bull Ride, Is My Victory Song, both there too. Looks like we're going to get one on the podium, Ryan, but Strive to Be Gidget wins it by about 6 lengths with I Am Destruction and Is My Victory Song closing it out.
That was a hell. There was some serious finish from Gadget there.
I feel like that was one of my better race calls.
That was a really good race call. I was about to compliment it. And I want to also compliment Blinkers On. Look at that. Look at those silks. That is some detail.
Guys, see, if you do easy to pronounce names in these things, it's so much easier for me. Look
at us, Bowser. We came in 3rd, 4th, and 6th.
Not bad, man. In a 15-horse field, I'll take that every time.
Yeah, and our best horse, probably the one that came in 3rd. I mean, this is, I'd imagine when we retire, Is My Victory Song, there might be breed opportunities. We'll see. I mean,
I think so.
This is actually probably a good conversation because this is a
I'll say this, that one, and we have another one at the S- level right now, Colt Single Shot. These horses we have at the S- S level that end up popping for a lot of wins, I'm going to figure out clever ways to use them because I don't want to waste a horse that just gets to the finish line first. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's something to that, right?
Yeah, so let's take a look at this horse. We're over 14K Derby up on the ledger, which is I'm going to say that's pretty impressive for a 40K earnings and for just a S horse at this point in the game.
Well, this horse probably costs us about $1,250 to breed, about 1,000 Derby or whatever. So I mean, that's nice right there. Oh no, actually, okay, we did breed him with Kingslayer, but you know, hit up the commish over at Evil Empire. He's got some fantastic stuff, especially on this left turf side. And I love this horse because Kingslayer, because he's got that 1-star soft. And so the closer we get to the middle there in the left turf side, as we were talking about, like closer we get to the firm side, the more different things we can happen. Kingslayer, as you see, won 1.2 million Derby. His mom, Marilyn Monroe, 1.4 million Derby. Her dad, Aqua Aglyphs, one of the OG top Gen 1 breeder, Gen 0 breeders, and her mom was one of the better Gen Z racers. So I mean, and then you go up to the great grandfather, what's his name? Nightcrawler, just another dominant Gen 0 horse. Won 39 races and 113 starts with 812K. The dad space. I mean, this is a hell of a bloodline of Kingslayer here. You know, I know the commission likes to talk about the winning gene. Well, yeah, this is what he's talking about, right?
It's like 4 million in earnings on the dad's side.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. So, I mean, to your point on, are you going to use this? It sounds like the answer is yes, and it sounds like we would prefer to retire this at the end of the year versus run it as a 5-year-old.
Probably, yeah. I think starting to breed her as a 5-year-old is definitely the way to do this.
Yeah, because I believe she's in the mix. Let's see. Yeah, well, she's already qualified. I mean, we're not that far away from the goal for her is actually to backdoor into the high court potentially, but we're already in the 5-year-old, or sorry, the low stakes for 4-year-old. But I think there's a chance we could also end up getting into the high court, which you can see 3x as much on the line.
Yeah, I think she was really close to that. Where was she at in the points on that? Something like
1. It's we're in the undercard already, but and this is actually something we'll talk about.
The QR code and stuff blocking the points there for me on that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so
I can't scroll up anymore. If you can't, oh, there you go. 3 and 1. And so the cut line's 3. She has 1.
So yeah, I remember seeing. I was checking this the other day. I remember seeing that, and I remember it was like a comical thing where I was like, "Well, that not. I mean, really, if we just find a horse that's only got 4 in it with and a decent, she's going to be guaranteed a couple points and almost punches a ticket right there." So,
and as you can see on the screen, this is actually a major that you can double because the low stakes is until 1 p.m. on the 13th. We could theoretically run this as well. So we can double dip here.
So let's I would say the high, like if there's like a graded race that we can get into in the high court, especially if there's only going to be 4 people running, something like that, I think punches our ticket into that, right? I mean, you can
see the spread, like it's pretty wide. And so there's also the argument of, well, is it actually plus EV to go into the bigger pot against the much better horses, or is it better to go for a smaller pot in a small field with, potentially a better chance at actually winning it? We'll have to break that down. I'll have to do some math because I think they've reappropriated this. Actually, let's do this live.
I mean, I guess it would be the best weather preference, right? If
we could potentially have our choice there. I forget what the breakdown is on payout here. Let's see. Yeah, so if we don't think we can get, in this top 5, I'm gonna guess it's gonna look more attractive to. Maybe it is still more attractive. Yeah, because this one gets nothing for the bottom half. So, all right.
Well, that's a great segue though into the rest of this bubble watch stuff because
let's go bubble watch.
That's where we're at for the high court. I mean, this is an interesting horse on bubble watch week, right? Because we're looking at it to get it in 2 things as a 4-year-old, which shows you the benefit of not retiring right away. Even though I like this, and there's a lot I like about it.
Great point. And I wasn't actually even planning on showing this, but I am gonna now bring it up.
That's what I always say about this game being a game of a lot of small decisions, right? And we've made enough good small decisions with this horse to put ourselves in a position to cash in 2 big, paydays at the end of the age 4 season.
Yeah, so we're not going to do the 5-year-old stuff, although we do have a couple horses going after middle-aged
shout out to Italian American. I just want to say our Kentucky Derby qualifier from 2 seasons ago, 5-year-old now, looking like he's going to qualify there. I think no problem in the middle-aged madness. And he keeps getting better as he goes up in age. Because remember, he qualified for the Derby without a win. Well, he keeps getting better as he goes up in age because everybody keeps retiring the good horses. And so now he's very competitive, like much more. He's got 5 wins now as a 4 and 5-year-old. So it shows you sometimes you want to keep running these guys.
Yeah, I mean, look at this aging curve.
Yeah. I do think we will be retiring this at the end of the season.
Have we ever seen an aging curve like this?
I don't think we have. No, because he came out of nowhere to qualify as a 3-year-old late. Remember?
Yeah, no, and now it's like,
dude, he's like a fucking machine as a 5-year-old here. So,
and some of these wins are at the allowance middle-aged madness stuff, but it's also, this is a high court qualifier, Fleet Figure 89 as a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, this is actually a horse where, if there's purpose for it, yeah, let's retire it. But this actually, I feel like it might be able to run back another high court.
Let's do it then as a 6-year-old. Fuck it, because
if it can manage the high court. And as you can see, we are actually in middle-aged madness, which you can see we're well off the cut line. Unfortunately, this is one where the double could be tricky, so we're going to have to prioritize. And obviously, the high court is a race that I believe this horse can win. Italian American.
Yeah.
We're middle of the pack in qualifying, which this is generally what the high court looks like. You'll usually have a couple dominant horses, and then everyone else.
You don't got, and well, I think part of the reason why you see that is because you have, look at us, Tombstone, and YSM. I don't think it's like a skill issue of why these horses have this many points. I think it's more of we understand we can try and dip into multiple pots. And so,
well, honestly, for me, at first it was like I want to make sure that Italian American is going to compete at the allowances. Sometimes in my head, the heart, when you drop in races, like it almost neutralizes the heart attribute. And so the first race we put him in, he won at the 5-year-old level. So I was like, okay, let's go back over here and see how he can do. But this is not the only high court action we have right now.
No, Game Manager, 4-year-old, our first sprint major qualifier from last season in the Twin Spires sprint. He's looking pretty fucking good.
Well, I was gonna say this is another horse where, I mean, like I said, a couple good horses. Well, I think we're one of them in the sprint, and I understand why this might be one that you would be looking to retire maybe more quickly because
I think we could probably use another good stud like him in there. You know, Italian American's probably one that interesting to keep pushing just because of the interesting aging curve here. But with this guy, I feel like, especially if he really has a big race in the sprint in the high court, if he wins the high court, I say, yeah, let's do it. You know, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I do think though he could really add something to our stable because he kind of came out of an unlikely pairing for us, which is always good for breeding.
And again, this is, you know, Game Manager wasn't bad as a 2-year-old, but you look at this median aging curve here. I mean, this would indicate to me that we probably, I would think, have another season of this because it's not like these times are.
At the same time, the floor of the aging curve, like, you know, all of a sudden the lows of the 4-year-old season are looking a little lower, but
sometimes that's an outlier. And in this case, like, I don't know what happened in this race. Certainly a very odd outcome, right? This horse is just 90, 86, 81, 73, 86, 87, 90, 80. Like, I almost want to know what happened in this race here.
Yeah, no, it's a weird one. And like,
I mean, it's your typical G3.
First sign of horse herpes.
Yeah, it could have been. It's just maybe just a bad outcome. Anyway, going back to the. Actually, I like this view that they give you. Shout out to the game for the current series view. But I mean, here's what we're looking at. Obviously, we're in. But this horse is so good, we're going to keep running it. So, I mean, we're going to keep racing it to get more points. Just because we're basically scooping money every time we run this horse.
Yeah, it's hard for it to finish outside the top 3 or 4. And so why wouldn't we want to? I mean, look at this. He has not won a major yet or anything, but he has pulled in a 42,000 Derby pot, dude. That's impressive for not like for a graded race win, you know, like that's huge, dude. So,
and we're best option today was a stakes race. So we're in a stakes race later against 5 horses. So we'll see if anyone else pops in. All right. Hopping over from there. And quick shout out to the Gallop Run, which is the formerly Horse Pilled series.
Play franchise mode. I have not seen Ian's post today. I'll be looking that up soon. I was recording something earlier for the network, so I'm not.
Is it a negative post?
I don't know. That sounds very ominous, though. So, do we need to try and break that live right now?
Yeah, I'll bring it up in a second. Let's get through these Let's get through the positive.
Yeah, let's do
and so for us, first time we're looking at a turf leaderboard ever, and we're on it. Bowser, not only that, you look at the population and how we're seeing 5 S pluses qualifying currently.
Yeah,
and we are 1, and not only are we 1, we're near the top of the board. Not only that, Bowser, this is a horse that is. Its peak distance is 8 furlongs, the distance of the major.
I just want to say something up front here with the rest of these major qualifiers that we're going for is, if you notice this year, they're pretty much all female for us, which is fucking awesome.
That isn't, I wouldn't have noticed that until you brought it up.
Yeah. So Ascend to the Throne here, Philly. Yeah, but we'll keep going. But yeah. So yeah, she's fucking tearing it up, dude. I'm so excited. Remember when we won the Kentucky Derby a few seasons ago, I immediately was like, all right, what do we do next? It's like, I'm going to Disney World. No, I'm focusing on left turf. Or, I mean, I'm going to continue to try and get better in left dirt and whatnot. but I really wanted us to get to competing in these left turf majors because I see the value of winning a fucking major or even just hitting the podium, right? And so now we're starting to get there in left turf, and I couldn't be more excited about this because it shows that I know ball, right? Or we know, we're getting it done.
And this, what's always fun when you look at the turf side is how badly absolute horsepower dominates.
Oh yeah, man. And I'll say this, dude, stable to keep an eye on over here. Sloppy Steaks, dude. He has got a majority left turf firm stable, and some of the preferences and grade combos in his breeders right now are incredible. If you look at left turf firm, man, this guy's getting it, dude. Trust me. Like hey, we're breeding with him at least once a season now. And if you check out the show, hit us up, man. I'd like to work out something with you because we're starting to go with other stuff, and we're kind of putting together left turf firm on our own. And I think we can get together and help each other out. One hand washes the other kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's I will say this. I don't know if I've seen a stable with this much LTF.
No, it's insane. I mean, and you look at some of these dudes. Like, yeah, dude. Cliff Bonanza, one of the top ones there. Like, there was one, God, I can't remember. It's an S+ one that he's got. Starts with like a G.
Look at all these SS minuses. My God.
Dude, this stable is fucking insane with these, bro. I'm telling you. I was, the Malachi, the Malachi Hibachi or Hibachi Liberace. That was a really interesting one to me. Really like the name there.
That's a great name.
Yeah, he did, but some of these, he's got some like 7.5 star ones in there. Like,
wow, this is impressive.
It really is, dude. And like
these are all left turf firm.
I feel like, yeah, this guy has obviously built these bloodlines up on his own. And the payoff, he's already won one major with one of his horses. Like,
wow.
See, I think maybe more, but I haven't been paying attention to left turf as much on that kind of stuff. But dude, he's definitely a stable to keep an eye on over here because of he's understood.
I'm impressed.
Just focus on this thing that no one else really has and become the king. That, would you in the land of the blind, the man with one eye is king.
It's true. And what do we have here, Bowser? Ascend to the throne, another Kingslayer.
Another Kingslayer horse, right? And so we broke down this bloodline and how much just like 4 million, 5 million in winnings,
yeah,
in between these guys. And then Speeding Bullet, which is an interesting one for us too, because this one doesn't really have much of a bloodline, but you know what? It's got just enough of these things here that really kind of, I think, played into complementing Kingslayer, right? Sometimes it's just finding.
I was just going to say, we generally like to chop off temper when we're looking at the subgrade profiles, and this came out pretty nice.
Well, yeah, this is one I think I bought retired already for cheap, just because I wanted something that was eligible for Kingslayer and Charlie Chaplin. So
nice. All right, so just a little bit about this horse.
But yeah, look at that. I was trying to get there, climb up, right? I forget what we bought that horse for, but we bought a retired mare cheap at the S+ level, popped it with the stud that's won a lot of shit, and now we got our first major qualifier over there. It can be that simple sometimes. Like,
it is. You did intentionally do that because you were working with the commission. You wanted to get some more breeds, but I wanted to bring this up because while it would be unfair to say this horse did not have success as a 2-year-old, you can see it struggled to break out. I mean, these are all great numbers, right? These are all great times, great fleet figures, mostly good positions. But as you can see, we didn't get a win. Where's our first win? Oh, here it is. Not until the undercard of season 34 as a 2-year-old did we get, so didn't qualify for the main Rising Stars.
That makes me feel pretty optimistic going into this Harbor Classic Gallop, because this horse could just have incredible heart that steps up in the biggest opportunities, right?
Well, first, right out of the gate, we drop it in the G1 to open the season, and it pops a 91, albeit at yielding. This was kind of the, okay, we're pushing. And so still, where are the wins? Oh, there it is. And so, like, again, like this is one of these horses.
91 in that one too. Wow.
Another yielding. But again, this horse we've had 2 wins, but it's had a nice. We're probably down on the ledger, but we're in for our first turf major, so who cares?
Right? Yeah. Sometimes you got, hey, because all it takes is one good race there, and it all makes up for itself. So,
all right, and then of course we have the left.
We say this all the time, but you got to get there to have a chance at it. I mean,
yeah, chip in a chair, or whatever poker analogy you want to use. As I scroll all the way down.
Okay, so that's it though for us on the turf side. Now we're going to get into our dirt qualifiers. We'd start with the gallop stuff because we don't really have anything going for the sprint, right?
We have nothing in the sprint. The game manager thing really was an outlier.
It really was.
Which is probably why we should retire. But if it wins, it's going to be hard to retire it. All right. So first up, we have the gallop. And we are like, this is a true bubble watch here. That's
why I wanted to bring this one up, man, because this is like, we are literally the bubble on this one. You know, if No Show Job can just, and look at No Show Job, what? Another female. And look at this, an 8-star LDS female. We've been weak on the LDS side. No matter what, this is going to bring good fortune for us going forward. Even if this bubble watch doesn't work out for us with this horse, but her father did win a gallop himself. He is a major champion. You look at that. He's got the 8.5 stars. And dude, look how quick. I mean, look at his bloodline. Dude, this is a horse that stepped up very quick. I think there's what we would call that accelerant trait in there. So this could be a high. This horse I think is a very high end S+ for us here.
Well, and this is one of my favorite females that we have because of where it came from. Lucky Dog and Deuces Wild.
Yeah.
In Best Ball Mania, the mom. And so
she didn't put up much for us, but Deuces Wild, one of our best early horses. And, you know, Lucky Dog for the time and place was a very good stud over there, especially with that SS temper. And the fact that we were able to get Best Ball Mania up to S+ temper there, you know, let's hope we really got something here on the. I think
wild that Deuces Wild is 21. Oh my goodness. It's gonna be a very sad day when Deuces Wild.
Oh, that's gonna be a really difficult in memoriam season when her -110. You know, they're all the same age. D-gens only. That's gonna be like our stable's 9/11 almost. You know,
and this horse is about to run in a qualifier. So good luck to us.
Yep.
It's another one where the peak distance for this horse is 8 furlongs. So setting up nicely for the race. Now down to Pound. Great name, by the way. This is another one where probably more on the outside looking in, hasn't really had the success on track.
But you know who his father is, right? He's ready to gig. And so our Kentucky Derby champ is producing horses, right? This is this 3-year-old crop is his first group of horses, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So here's the first one we're going to see of his that's on the bubble watch. It's with Pretty Egg. Now Pretty Egg is one of my favorite horses we have on the breeding barn because look at her dad, Walcott, major champion. His mom, Bella Fatima, major champion. That's 2 Kentucky Derby winners, 2 right there. And then with He's Ready to Gig as the father, there is a Kentucky Derby winner in every generation going back the last 3 generations for this horse.
This is true thoroughbred Bowser, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, right?
Ish. You're layering in the derbies.
Yeah,
Bowser, we bought this horse for dirt cheap because it was compatible with He's Ready to Gig.
This is one that you had found. I want to give you a shout out for you were looking for He's Ready to Gig compatibility, so we had a little bit more to shoot with. And yeah, so I feel like this is definitely one we want to fire back with because of her speed there too. If we can get her speed with the rest of his attributes and whatnot, there could be something here. But I just like this horse, you know. Just this guy is an interesting one, even if he doesn't end up qualifying for us, because down the line as a breeder, he's going to be fun because of that pedigree he has of so much major championship blood. But it'd be nice if we can backdoor him in. I'm not going to lie.
And this is one that actually broke the maiden at 9 furlongs. And then, you know, we, again, not like the most impressive 2-year-old season, ended up going, even ran in a redemption, did make the undercard, only finished 5th. And even as a 3-year-old, You know, the wins are at kind of restricted non-winners of 3 levels. So this horse is probably missing something a little bit, but nice to see that a horse missing a little bit is still able to get to this level. So maybe a little bit of validating that he's ready to gig. Plus all the blood in this horse's background. I'm excited to see what it ends up revealing. And, you know, like I said, maybe we can backdoor it here. We only have a couple more days to qualify. I think the G1s are in, what, 5 days?
Well, this horse made me run that combo of backup parents again this season for sure, you know, with Pretty Egg. And
yeah, I think we have to, right? Because there's like probably where we just missed was the fact that it's running a little shorter distance, you know.
Not just that, if we can get a female version of this horse, even and have that female that has that crazy Derby pedigree in her bloodline, that goes a long way for us now too, because we just pop her into different major winners going forward and keep improving on that. So
all right, and then of course the race that everyone cares about the most, at least we do.
We do, yeah. Well, and you know, it does have the biggest, you know, all these majors have the same prize pool, right, for the horses, but as for the gamblers, the biggest juice pot of the season every year for gambling is the Kentucky Derby pot. So it does have the largest wagering handle. Now you see our horse here, Social Club Hangout. We talk about Deuces Wild. This is another Deuces Wild grandchild. That's it. Would be our look. So you look at the success we're now having at the LDS side, where we could potentially put 2. We've never put an LDS horse in a major, I believe, right?
True statement.
So this season we have one for sure in, and we could be putting a second one in with this bubble watch situation. And so it shows that we're really taking a step forward both there and LTS. It took a while. Like, look, he's ready to gig. Kids are starting to hit the track. It shows right when we started focusing on that after his Kentucky Derby win. It takes about this long for the results to really start showing up on the track. So keep that in mind when you're doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah, lucky dog with Deuces Wild, but with a different mom, right? So Bronx Firebomb. What the last one was? Best Ball Mania.
Yeah, Best Ball Mania.
This is Bronx Firebomb, but it's the same combination of parent or grandparents, and so interesting.
Yeah, but we did let him hang here for the dad. Let him hang. Look, this is like when we talked about that seesaw effect with the stars. You look at him; he's got 0 soft. And he's got the 3-2 there, but go down to Bronx Firebomb. She's got the 2.5 2. Go up to our Social Club Hangout girl. By the way, what are we looking at? Oh, another female that we have competing for this. So this is very encouraging for our state. This 3-year-old group is one of the most important ones we've had in a while, if you think about it. Just because there's so many females qualifying for majors, kind of thing, or in the mix. Yeah, this horse has 6 wins, 32 starts.
So this is probably our best horse this season because it actually is getting the top of the podium, and it rarely does poorly. It's had a pretty decent track record, and I wanted to drop back. This was one I was worried about because it won its first race. That always terrifies me.
Well, see, this is a good example, though. We talked about earlier of like you don't want to get boxed, even if you win early on. Don't get too boxed into that distance because it could have just won because it's a good horse. We pushed it out to the stayer distance because it was running at 9 early on in the gallop runs, but we push it up to the stayers and we have a Kentucky Derby horse, you know? So like there's always gonna be a fine line there on horses at like 8-9 versus 10-11 kind of thing, right? You know,
so qualified for the stayer, Rising Star, 14th out of 18th because it was a fast track. This is a soft horse. Comes out, kind of lays an egg in the G1 to start the season. But then, you know, second in a G2 gave me hope, more points, and then winning with the 91 at Yielding, considering a soft horse, that was a very nice result. And then from there, it pretty much has not had a like egg run. It's even when it's finished poorly, it's still popping an 80 or more. The ceiling still shows up from time to time. So this is another one where I'm not necessarily, and I think we're running like nowish.
Well, and look, that was a very good start. But when you look at the parents, we did that seesaw effect with the stars, and look how it worked out for us with the stars on this.
We hit I'm guessing we hit the nut star outcome here, or close to it.
Yeah, or close to it. Yeah.
I know. I think we had to because 2.5 on dirt was probably the high end. 3 on left was the high end, and then soft. Yeah, we hit a little down on that, but still very, very good roll. All right, back to the standings, which, by the way, if you look, no one has more than two. Absolute Horsepower has two. We have two.
This will be our first time having two in the Derby, first off, which is very exciting, or in any major for that matter. And also, it's a LDF and an LDS. So that was Club Hangout, the LDS. There's Taco Mama, the LDF.
And my mistake, Pink Slip Racing has 3 horses in. Okay. Everyone else only has 2, which is pretty fun. There's a bunch with 2. Given Stables, SoCal, us. We're officially a big dog now. We might need to be like, are we turning into the evil empire?
Nah. We're you know, we're like, okay, if you're saying evil empire as in like Star Wars terms of the empire, we're not the Rebel Alliance. We're not like, you know, that, but we're more like Lando Calrissian out in cloud.
Okay.
And our own neutral selves.
All right. So Bowser, a couple repeat items here. You have a female.
Yep. Another female. So look at that. 4 females, dude, in the fucking mix for majors for us. That's just incredible for us for a 3-year-old class. I'm so excited.
And it's another he's ready to get.
He's ready to get kid. So we're seeing, hey guys, it's our Kentucky Derby champion. He's in there at minimum. Why don't you? Hey, he's producing horses that are competing for majors today. Why wouldn't you want to breed with him? I don't get it.
There's still breeds available.
Plenty of breeds available. Yeah.
Crazy.
So, and his mom, the mom here, well, Taco Mama's mom, of course, is Tamale Lady, which is performance wise probably the best female we've had, maybe just recently, you know, not counting like Deuces Wild and -110 stuff, but from the S plus and up. But you look, man, oh dude, she's really got that stamina, which was kind of his weakness. And so the fact that the 2 of them, I don't know, I'm excited to see the reveal on this horse, you know, when we retire. I have a feeling this crop of 3-year-old females, we're going to want to retire and get them breeding right away for us, right? And really,
it seems like we've hit on a lot of pretty good stuff here.
And so, yeah, why wouldn't we want to keep pushing that forward and, you know, get to the next level of this evolution as quickly as possible? I think, especially with these particular 4 females we're talking about.
141K in earnings, has hit the podium 14 out of 34 races, which isn't great. I would say this is a high variance horse.
Yeah, and well, she did qualify for the Kentucky Derby the season after He's Ready to Gig won it.
Oh, so, you're back on. Let me bring up Tamale Lady again. Sorry.
Oh yeah, just Tamale. But yeah, just yeah, she was great for us. Even though she didn't have a great Derby run, it did come out soft. So shit like that happens. But that's what's cool about us being able to go into this Derby where, hey, no matter the weather roll, we're live, right?
It is nice that, well, you know, of course we have like a half-star firm, and, you know, so probably better to be soft, and because of that, it's been firm for like 4 seasons in a row, 5 seasons in a row. I'm sure we're gonna get a soft roll. It's been soft for like 5 seasons in a row. I'm sure we're gonna get firm this season.
Yeah, when we finally have a really good.
Yeah, exactly. So Tamale Lady, another one that came out real hot. Came out of the gates real hot.
We were expecting a lot of good things out of this horse based on the 2 parents. So
yeah,
the fact that it came out hot, I don't think was a letdown. Wasn't necessarily I don't think you were as apprehensive about that as usual because you were so excited that this bloodline was paying off immediately.
Yeah, and as you can see, it had I would say a pretty good first year season as a 2-year-old. Made the Rising Stars, but it doesn't tend to perform well on the extreme sloppy or fast, and so didn't do great in the 2-year-old major. And then coming right out of the gate, it picked up a 3rd in the G1. And so that was kind of the building blocks where I was like, okay, we can get this horse qualified. But you can see, like, although fleet figures are fine, it has had some bad races, which makes me question if it has the full heart roll.
I think it might not have the full temper roll. I don't know.
Maybe that's temper.
We've talked about this all season with this horse. It's missing something, you know.
It's definitely missing something, but you can see it flip-flops between, you know, being able to show up, win a race, and then going back down 5th, 6th, 5th. So we'll see. I mean, we're going to be in the race, like you keep saying. I think if we get a yielding roll, this horse is going. We have a lot of horses that like yielding this season, so we might want some yielding rolls here.
Yeah, and I'll say this: just no matter what happens with this horse in the major, it's going to be a very important breed piece for us going forward. Because you go back up to the top with that half star firm, it's live to breed with good soft horses, and being one of the probably the best He's Ready to Gig daughter on the first season of him. The way that's how we're going to get our Kentucky Derby bloodline elevated, right? His daughters, because we're going to breed them into the SS minus and SS down the line champions as they continue to go forward. So this is going to be a pretty important one for us, I feel. So very excited to see how this comes out for us.
So you can see though, 4 of our first. So if I just let me look only at the 3-year-olds here, because this was our first crop. You can see only one of them skunked. So this was, I would say, this is probably a successful first crop.
Yeah.
Potentially 2 major qualifiers and some wins down the board.
Yeah, I mean,
these could also be good breeders. I mean, good stars.
When you think about it like this, where the game keeps evolving into the SS minus more, the fact that they're still being competitive at S plus right now says something about them. And
I didn't even consider this when it happened, but the fact that we got 4 females on our first breed attempt with him, and they all have at least 5 stars, mostly 5.5. That's awesome. On the left in the dirt. All right, so that's Bubble Watch. I think we hit everything, right? Did we miss anything that we wanted to talk about in the qualifiers?
No, I think we got it. Yeah, let's hope no show job there closes out strong this weekend in the LDS stuff. That
in a perfect world, we could have 2 in the Gallop, 2 in the Derby. I think best case
1 in the Harbor Gallop too.
Yeah.
Now the question is do we do a special Harbor Gallop broadcast next
what time
week?
let's see when that race is. I'll let you know. Is it a Friday race?
It'll be a Thursday race.
All right, let's see.
I know you guys have been doing the college show and the prop show and stuff on that day, so I don't know if that'll line up.
The race is at 4 p.m. on Friday.
Oh, that's a little
Pacific.
tough. Yeah, that might be tough.
You know what? Maybe we'll pop in during the Sports Gambling Podcast show. I'm sure to your point, we probably are going to be doing either props or college basketball at that time. So maybe we'll pop in and watch it. But good shit. I mean, I was trying to think. We've obviously not had a season where we've had a chance to qualify 5 horses in majors. And certainly weren't doing that in a year where we're also getting horses in the high court. We're also getting horses in I believe we're going to be represented in every series in left dirt and left turf. Maybe a couple of the 2-year-old ones we won't be, and then even shout out to Puerto Rico stables. The Gallop run, I'm going to load up some of our horses in Gallop run qualifiers. Oh, shout out to Japan. It is dab time. I'm going to load up some qualifiers and actually I'll just show this on the screen so everyone can see. Great to go over to the series races, but I will be loading up some of our horses in these qualifiers that go off tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm excited for this series. This is going to be really cool. So,
which if you notice, they've made a change. It's no longer an allowance. It's a stakes race.
Ooh,
with a max of an S plus. So we will, I think I might bring us some, let's see when this qualifier runs. It runs on. So this runs right after the Derby. So anything that we have that's not going to be running in Derby, I'm going to see if we can get into the.
Hell yeah.
We'll smash the Gallop run. All right, Bowser, did we want to talk about anything else before we get out of here?
No, I think we got it all covered.
Breed with our horses. We did a whole He's Ready to Gig segment here. There's 15 breeds left. Have fun. And yeah, there's Commandant too, I guess. I'll say that as we're getting out of here.
Yeah, Commandant and Roman Surprise there too, like we've talked about him too. Roman Surprise we mentioned as our horse that's had the best overall aging career, being competitive across his pretty much entire lifespan.
Yeah, actually I'll bring him up. That's a good way to close the show. Let's bring up his aging curve to see if we're both full of shit. Yeah, I mean we're not. Look how flat this is.
Yeah, I don't want to be full of shit. Yeah, you gotta still on Commandant.
Look at how flat this is.
Yeah. I mean that's an incredible aging curve when you think about it. There's always going to be a jump from age 2 to age 3, or at least fucking hopefully.
Yeah.
If your juvenile doesn't improve as a 3-year-old, I don't know what happened to that
trouble.
puberty process. Yeah. That's big trouble.
And Roman Surprise's first batch came out, and it looks like the 4 that we made are all S pluses. By the way, one's for sale if you're interested. Yeah. This is a great deal right here.
Psychic Island, she doesn't have the best stars, hence the star profile on that, but she has crazy good subgrades. So this course could have a lot under the hood if you have the females with the stars to breed this with. So,
and actually, that's a great way to end this show. That's what a great reveal this was. Yeah. That's a great way to end this show. We have a number of horses for sale, all for basically 800 Derby. So if you're looking for something on the cheap, we have a bunch of even 2-year-olds that can race right now. Again, you're probably going to want to we've gotten 100% satisfaction reviews on horses bought for us. Bargain basement. These are cheaper than it cost us to breed. So
yeah,
pick up something from the. We'll call this like the TJ Maxx of horse sales right here.
Yeah, it's like a Costco without having to have a membership. You know.
Oh, great point. What's the spot in LA that's like that? Like Save On or something like that? I don't remember. Anyway. Good shit, Bowser. I am in Vegas, and I have a lot to do, a lot of bets to make. Good luck to everyone in the college basketball streets tonight and this weekend. Some great games. I'll give you a play. Xavier taking on Cincinnati. Xavier has not lost at home against Cincinnati since 2001. Kenyon Martin, I think, was still playing back then. Good luck to everyone in the college football streets. Shout out to...
I got to play for tonight college football, dude. Let's go Tulane money line. In the AAC conference championship game. I think I got it at plus 118. I'm pretty sure you can get a plus 120 out there if you shop that. But yeah, dude, let's go Tulane. I like that a lot. There's gonna be some good conference championship games, but not only tonight but tomorrow too. So let's see how the committee screws everything up for the playoff. Am I right? No, I got it plus 115. Still, I'm still on board with that. It's at home. So.
Shout out to the committee for doing their thing, and shout out to everyone for getting mad. Like
there used to be a committee for some of the majors and stuff.
That's true. The committee was a problem.
But there used to be a committee on photo finish, and now
they got rid of the committee. College football can too. Wins matter. Let's not make it about the losses. And shout out to Virginia Tech, James Franklin, and the awesome recruiting efforts he made over the last couple days.
Shout out to UCLA for hiring Bob Chesney. See, we were complaining about this just mere weeks ago a couple seasons ago in photo finish world, but now in real life football, our teams are
we're back.
We're back.
We're back. And John Gruden's in New York for some reason. I wonder what that could be. All right. We'll see everyone next week. The Kentucky Derby live stream is set to go off at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. I was doing the math real quick. 7 p.m. on the East Coast.
Ryan's gonna hit that NFL.
Yeah, if you must know, I have to go pay off a marker, get a marker, play some slots, make some bets, and then shout out to Adam Rosenberg. He's in town celebrating his birthday, so we'll be getting a nice steak down at Barry's here. If you're in Vegas, come by. Live show from 7 to 10 here at the Circa, and I'll be hanging out afterwards, playing craps, eating some Barry's steak, and who knows? I might not go to sleep tonight. Got a 6 a.m. flight, and I got a lot to do. Bowser, good show as always, and good luck to us as season 35 closes down. Of course, good luck to everyone else, but not really if you're competing against us. Bowser, good luck with your bets this weekend, and I will see you in a week.
Saturday night and the lights go hot. SGPN on the mic at the Derby spot. Virtual Kentucky running live on the stream. 3 big races, 30 large in the dream.
10 grand heat after heat in the globe.